Hi guys, I Aziz welcome you to CoedMaster, and in this video I am going to talk about ArrayDeque. In this video I will show you what are the 3 ways of creating ArrayDeque and what are all the most commonly used method that we can call on ArrayDeque. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So alright guys, so let's begin this video with the first thing, that how to create ArrayDeque. So there are basically 3 ways to create ArrayDeque. So let me show you the first way to create ArrayDeque. So the first way to create ArrayDeque is, let's call ArrayDeque, give it a name AD equal to, use new keyword to create the new instance of ArrayDeque. So this is the most basic way to create ArrayDeques. Now you are good to go. You can call all the methods on this object like clear, offer, size, add, so on and so forth. Now let me show you the next way to create ArrayDeque. So let's call ArrayDeque, give it a name AD equal to new, and here you can pass the number of elements in the constructor of ArrayDeque. For example, let's say 10. So what is the significance of this number of elements? As we can know that the ArrayDeque internally uses dynamic size array. So when passing 10 as a number of elements, the dynamic size array allocates space for 10 elements initially. So when to use this syntax? So let's say you know the number of elements or the size of queue in advance. In that case, you can assign the number of elements in the constructor of ArrayDeque. Now what is the advantage of passing number of elements in the constructor? So it simply prevents the unnecessary growing and shrinking of array. Okay, so this is the second way of creating ArrayDeque. Now let me show you the third way of creating ArrayDeque, and that is through the existing collection class. So let's say we have an array list, give it a name AL is equal to new array list. Okay, and this array list has few elements. Let's say L.add1. Let's add few more elements. Let's say 2, 3 and 4. Now we can use this collection to create a new ArrayDeque. So let's call it ArrayDeque, give it a name AD is equal to new ArrayDeque. And now you can pass the existing collection to the constructor of ArrayDeque, and you are good to go. Your ArrayDeque is created. Now you can print it on the screen, or you can call all the available method on ArrayDeque. So let's print it on the screen. So you will see that all the elements of ArrayDeque is printed on the screen. So this is the third way to create ArrayDeque using the existing collection class. Now I have showed you all the 3 ways to create ArrayDeques. So I hope this is clear to you. If this is clear to you, then we can move ahead to see all the methods, all the most commonly used method that we can call on ArrayDeque. So let's start with the queue interface first. So in here we are using ArrayDeque as a queue data structure. So let's call queue, give it a name queue is equal to new ArrayDeque. Okay. So there are 3 methods in queue interface, that is add, remove and element. And equivalent to those methods we have offer, poll and peek method. So I will show you the offer, poll and peek method, and you can see the add, remove and element method by yourself. So let's call queue.offer, and this method is used to add elements to the queue at the end of the queue. So let's offer one element, that is 1. Let's offer few more elements, that are 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now let's print it on the screen. Run the program and you will see that our queue has 4 elements, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let's call queue.poll, and what this function does, this function removes elements from the front of the queue. So we are left with only 3 elements, that is 2, 3 and 4. Now let's call queue.peek. So what this function does, this function simply prints the element that is present in the front of the queue. Okay, so currently in our queue we have 2, 3, 4. So the front of this queue is this, at the front element 2 is present in the queue. So it's going to print 2 on the screen. So you will see that 2 gets printed on the screen. So these are all the methods that are specific to queue interface that are implemented in ArrayDeque. Now we are going to see all the methods that are specific to Deque interface. So let's rename it to Deque and make it DQ. Now Deque interface has many methods like add first, add last, remove first, remove last, element first and element last. So all those methods throws exception, and equivalent to all these methods we have offer first, offer last, poll first, poll last and peek first and peek last. So I will show you offer, poll and peek method, and the remaining methods you can try it by yourself. So let's call it DQ.offer first. So offer first is going to add element at the front of the queue. Okay, so let's give it 1. Let's call DQ.offer last. So offer last is going to add element at the end of the queue. Now again call deque.offerFirst. Let's give it 3. Okay, and let's call it deque.offerLast and give it 4. Now let's print this deque on the screen, system.out.println, and give it a deque. Run the program and you will see that we have added offer first. So this was the first element, then we call offer last. So 2 gets added at the last. Then we are calling offer first. So 3 gets added in the front, and we are calling offer last. So the 4 gets added at the last. So this is our deque right now. So because of these two methods, offer first and offer last, we can use this deque as a queue or as a stack. It's up to us. Now what to do? Let's call deque.pollFirst method to remove elements from the first position, and let's call deque.pollLast, that is, and this method is used to remove elements from the last position. Okay, now again let's print the deque on the screen, deque, run the program, and you will see that first there was 3, 1, 2, 4 in the queue, and then after removing the first element 3 and last element, that is 4, we are left with 2 elements that are 1 and 2. Now let's call deque.peekFirst. So peekFirst method is used to see the first element of the queue, and similarly we have peekLast. That method is used to see the last element of the queue. Let's run the program and you will see that the first element of the queue is 1 and the last element of the queue is 2. So these are all the most commonly used methods that you can call on ArrayDeque while using it as a queue or while using it as a stack data structure. So I hope by now all of these methods are clear to you. So before I leave, I have to say that if you have learned something valuable from this video, then hit the like button in order to make YouTube happy. Please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so my friend you never miss any upcoming video. So this is all from my side. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.